Take it away, John.
All right, so good morning, everyone. Okay, welcome to our daily 11 a.m. webinar where Jin will be walking through his thoughts and ideas for a specific currency pair each day. So today we are going to have the Euro USD. Okay, usually on Mondays we have the Australian and Kiwi dollar. Today, Tuesday, Euro. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the pound. Thursday we have Japanese yen and gold, and Friday we have US, Canadian, and oil. Okay, so just before I continue, just launching a quick poll to see if you are the first time with us today. Okay, so while you are filling that up, okay, today Jin will be talking about the euro. Okay, and this webinar is going to be very beneficial to both long-term investors and retail traders, okay, as he will be going through different time frames. He would also be going through what could move prices, some possible trade ideas, and also to highlight the potential targets and risks. However, just a disclaimer, any information shared during this session is not intended to be a trade recommendation. It is solely his opinions and views. So please remember to do your analysis before entering any trades. Okay, so welcome the 3 new members joining us today. Hope you find this session beneficial and hope you can join us back every day. Okay, so a short intro of myself. Okay, I'm Jonathan and I've known Jin for 4 years. Started off as a student and later on helping out as a trader and coach in LCMS traders and now a business partner with Forex Briefcase as well. So Jin runs LCMS traders where we conduct most of our trainings, okay, and also Forex Briefcase as a managed account service where we actually help to generate returns for our clients. Okay, and currently Jin is managing an AUM of over USD 7 million. Okay, apart from that, he has been also invited to speak on many stages globally, and I'm sure some of you would have caught him at some of these events, and hence that brought you here. Okay, before I hand the time over to Jin, I'm going to launch another poll. Okay, just to find out how do you get here. Okay, so yeah, just gonna put that there. Today we have a more varied source. Okay, in the meantime, if you want to know more about us, Jin has put up some of our websites in the chat group. Okay, so depending on what interests you the most, you can head over to visit each individual website. So I'm just waiting for about 5 more people to fill up the poll, and I think you can pass the time over to Jin.
Come on, who's the last 5? Or actually last 6 of you. We won't get started until you do your poll. How about that? Kim Hong, I know it's you. There you go, there you go. Force people to vote. It's actually quite interesting today that we seem to be getting people from different sources, past couple of times, or actually most of the time it's a couple from Telegram channel and most Traders Club members. We have a couple from Meetup this time, friends, and Facebook Live as well. So, and a lot more from Telegram. So it's quite interesting. So, if you have any questions, put it in the chat. In the chat function, we have Jin Wei here, we have Jonathan who did the intro, we have Daniel, we have Kenneth. These guys are coaches and also business partners of mine at Forex Briefcase. So, they will be watching the chat and letting me know that if there's any questions that you might have. And then we shall get started. All right, so the first things, today we're going to be talking about the euro. Not really exciting news coming out for the euro. Yesterday I spoke about the Aussie. We do have an Aussie news coming out at 12:30. So if you have not already, after this session, go quickly jump onto YouTube, watch yesterday's session about the Aussie. There's some possible trade ideas. Part 1 has already happened. We're looking for part 2 to happen, and then maybe later in the week, part 3 might happen, right? So when I do my currency call, I try and do a projection for the week. So jumping straight into Euro. Okay, that's not Euro, that's New Zealand. This is Euro. All right, so Euro, what I do is I will look at it on the daily time frame to start. You know, as John was saying, we do have some people here who are watching. They are not traders, they are investors, or they look for the super hands-off traders, so they look for the much longer term trades. So what you do for that is you look at the daily time frame. So how I look at the daily time frame, it might look a bit messy now because there are lines everywhere, but you know, walk through it slowly. We look at the daily time. I might zoom it in a little bit for you just to get a better view. For the past few sessions, for the past many sessions, last month, you know, I've been saying that it was consolidating at this point, looking to drop lower. It's test this resistance level, looking to drop lower or could go higher. It was coming at a decision point. Then it started coming lower. It was going to retest before coming lower, so it retested and then broke through resistance. Now it's sitting back at this support level again. So this line of 1.09 has been very crucial in terms of a decision point for the euro, whether it's going to go higher or whether it's going to go lower, significantly higher or significantly lower. It's at that point right now. What is likely to happen here, why this is happening is probably because of a lot of well, firstly, bad economic news. We've been seeing a lot of bad economic news coming from the euro, you know, because of the virus, because of what was resulting because of people getting locked in because of the virus. So economic numbers were bad, employment numbers were bad, GDP numbers, PMI numbers. We were seeing very bad economic numbers coming from the euro, which is why we saw more pessimism for the euro at that point, right? But however, now that they are starting to open up the euro zone a little bit more, you know, not countries are looking to relax the lockdown rules. People are going back to work. There seems to be a little bit more optimism into the market, which is why we see a bit of a spike upwards in terms of the euro. In addition to, you know, now seeing the negative news coming from the US as well has weakened the US dollar a little bit. So that's why it has helped the euro push up a bit more with the euro US going higher and retesting this level. So there hasn't been any real push, right? We had the ECB, if I'm not wrong, last week, where they came out and they kept interest rates the same. You know, they talked about tools that they could use, are willing to use, but have not used yet. So it hasn't really given that final punch or that boost to push prices significantly higher or lower. So at this point now, I still do think that we could see it sit there for the next couple of days before a tick upwards, move upwards. Why I think of that move upwards, I'm thinking of on Friday, we could see the non-farm payrolls coming in, employment numbers from the US coming in, impacting the Euro US, impacting the strength of the US dollar, and then hence the Euro US. So I do think that we could see it sitting at this level for, you know, next couple of days before possible short-term move upwards. So because of that, I'm not, you know, you could see that I started talking about the euro not being super excited, not being my usual self of how I was talking about the Aussie or the Kiwi yesterday, you know, not super excited about the euro because I don't actually think that there's going to be a lot of direction coming from the euro, right? Whether it's upwards or downwards, not a lot of direction or not clear directions coming there. That's on the daily time frame. On the H4, you can see that even more so. right? It's gone up, it's came back down. Now it's sitting at this support level with indicators or translations of price action telling me that it could possibly go back up a little bit again. So at that point, before this crosses over, comes out of being oversold, it could on the H4 be coming back up slightly, right? It could be moving up slightly. In my view, I do hope that it doesn't move too much, right? So if it actually sits in that area and bounces in that zone, in this area, in this zone, say, let me just put some lines. Oops. Let me just put some lines in. Oh, say if it doesn't break above that blue area, that blue zone there, to 1.0930 or even 1.0940, if it stays within that range, I think it's going to be quite interesting. For those of you who joined me yesterday when I was teaching you about the straddle strategy, this could come into play. So if it does sit, quite tight across this level, in a consolidation, we could see the straddle come into play. So, I mean, if this is something you want to try, for those of you who joined me last night, this could be something that you look out for. Okay, so enough about the euro. I'll jump into the euro pound. Euro pound, I've been saying the same thing day or week after week after week after week. It's the same. It hasn't changed that much. Euro pound on the daily time frame, you can see that it's really sitting on that one line across. I could put my thumb and cover all the price action that's moved across. Yesterday or last week we said that it could come down a bit before going back up. It came down slightly before retesting this resistance again. Now it's testing the support. Resistance turns support, and it's going to be sitting there for a while, right? So I still do think that we're not going to see much clear directions coming from the euro pound, but again, another straddle strategy or in play coming up, right? Because it's sitting on that zone on the daily time frame. We could see it if it does break upwards. Give me 1 second. Right, so if we do see it coming back upwards at that level, it could shoot up higher or it could turn back lower at that consolidation. So if I did it on H4, right, it could look at it and it could turn back in this level, right? It could come back down. If it does break through this zone, we could see it break a lot lower or a lot higher. I would actually be more careful with this. Let's move that away. I could be a lot more careful with this because I'm going to zoom out. You would see that real consolidation moving across, hence that move. Oops. If it does break above 0.8822 or 8830, we could see it go a lot higher. So, if you're looking for that straddle, that could be the 0.8822 and 0.8725. Right? So with those two pairs right now, it's really like supposed to be a hands-off, don't jump into any trades because there's no real directions coming from the Euro US or the Euro Pound. They're all sitting in consolidation. Look for that straddle opportunity. I would jump into the news right now, the Forex Factory. Actually, before I do that, I'll jump into, since I have Traders Club open here already. Traders Club, we have here is the private group where you can join. Just find us on Facebook and join LCMS Traders Club. There's a competition. We do 2,000 US cash prize. We have news. We share our news there. This is the 12:30 Reserve Bank of Australia news coming up in almost an hour's time. The currency call is here. Wow, I've just seen that coaching. So tomorrow at 8:30, take note of the time change. 8:30, we have the currency call, coaching call, which John and Jonathan and Daniel runs. Wednesday, tomorrow, they will be talking about drawing your support resistance lines, how to do your support resistance lines. So for all the Trader Club's members, join there, click like to join that session. Last night I spoke about trading a straddle. At 9 o'clock last night we talked about trading a straddle. So I was going through those strategies, applying that strategy. I see that a lot of you, or half of you, came from Telegram. So on Telegram we share trade signals. We share trade signals where, for example, telling you to sell Euro US at 1.0935, stop loss, take profit levels 1, 2, and 3. In the group, we actually tell you, when to get into a trade, the reasons behind getting into that trade, the logic behind the strategy and logic behind getting into that trade, the 5 steps we have, why we get into the trade, and then also whether to get out at stop loss, take profit 1, take profit 2, or take profit 3. The reason behind getting out at those trades as well. The reason behind getting out at take profit 1, 2, or 3. So if you're sitting there on Telegram going, hey, I'm copying the trades, you can still copy the trades here, but you also learn how to trade, and you get a lot more coaching in terms of how to get out of that trade as well. So as much as getting into a trade is important, getting out of a trade is going to be even more important, because sometimes you could be holding up to TP1 and it goes straight to stop loss. So you need to know when to get out of a trade. So that's going to be important. We have an update as well at 9 p.m. every night about today's currency call. So 9 p.m., if you have not been looking at the market, you want to know whether what I'm talking about is still valid. The update at 9 o'clock, we do a quick update in terms of whether you should still be looking at those currency call ideas. All right, so a lot more information in there. Join the LCMS Traders Club. It's $49 a month or $199 a year. No brainer, join for a year. It will help your trading progress, your trading journey. It will help you make more money in the overall longer term, right? So those of you who are already on Traders Club, help me out, put it in the chat, tell me whether it has been beneficial to your trading journey, whether it has been beneficial to your overall trading profitability as well. Okay, so while you're doing that, I'll jump straight into the Forex Factory now. All right, so Forex Factory, today we went through, I talked a bit about cash rates, talked a bit about the RBA rate statement that's coming up at 12:30. There's a next news coming out. If you haven't already, go watch yesterday's video. I went into a bit more detail of that. Today, this just seems to have came up. There's a German Constitutional Court ruling. They're ruling about the ECB's asset purchase program, right? So that could impact the Euro US, because the asset purchase program is a QE, is a tool for QE, where they plan to buy more assets back, hence pushing money into the market, increasing supply of the euro, therefore, possibly a drop in value of the euro. So now they're looking to see whether it's constitutional. If they do come out and say it's not, then that asset purchase program might be invalid. If that's invalid, that tool will be invalid. Then they can't do a QE, or they have to think of another different way to do it. So the results of this ruling could impact the Euro US. However, I do not think that it's going to come up as a negative. I think they're going to come up and say, hey, it's okay, continue with the asset purchase program. So we could see, that's why we could see a little bit of an uptick towards the euro. CAD, nothing much. US manufacturing PMI, it's going to be terrible news. Wednesday, we have New Zealand. I spoke about that yesterday. On Wednesday, we have the EU economic forecast. That's probably not going to impact the euro too much, I think, because it's going to be a very broad overview. So no matter what they say, we're going to see some volatility, but still no real clear directions from the euro. Pound will be interesting. We'll talk about that tomorrow, about the pound on Thursday's news. And then on Friday, we have the US non-farm payrolls, hourly earnings and unemployment rates. It's going to be expected to be terrible, terrible, terrible news. Whether it's going to come out as bad or worse, we're going to see that on Friday at 8:30. So it's going to be quite interesting at that point. Whether the US, I see that the US is probably going to be a little bit weaker resulting from this news. It's going to be quite interesting to see how that translates out. So because of all this news, it makes me feel that the Euro US is probably going to sit there for a while more, and then on Friday we're going to see an upward move because of the weakness in the possible weakness in the US dollar. All right, so I've rambled on really quickly and quite a lot as well. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, I'm going to run the risk again. For Trader Club members, we're going to do up a poll. So Daniel, if you can help me with the poll on Traders Club, right? If we get 30, so it's a live trading session for non-farm payroll again, right? So live trading session on non-farm payroll on Friday at 8:30 p.m. This is only for Trader Club members. If you vote yes, if I get more than 30 votes, and you make sure that if you vote, you turn up. If I get more than 30 votes of yes, we will do a live trading session where I will trade live on a live account together with you on Zoom during that news at 8:30. So we'll start at 8 o'clock to prepare for the news, teach you how to trade the news, teach you how to prepare for a high impact news, and then we'll trade the news at 8:30 in the evening when the news gets released, probably till 9 o'clock. All right, so Daniel is going to pump out that poll coming up on Traders Club. If you want to join, no, Andy, you cannot vote for more than once. Okay, Daniel make sure it's only one person per vote, right? So you just make sure that everyone else votes. Make sure they vote and they turn up, because if we're at a Zoom call and there's not 30 people in there, I'm quitting out. Daniel's going to run the session. All right, so let's make that happen. On a live trading call on Friday, non-farm payrolls. If you want to join those of you who are not in Traders Club already, if you want to join that live trading session, straightforward, just join Traders Club. Anything else? Hey, no one actually commented about how Traders Club has helped them. You guys are terrible. It's hard for Europeans to stay up. Well, it's true, but if it's important enough, you will. I stayed up till 3 o'clock to attend I stay up all the time to attend FOMC releases at 2 a.m. I stay up to 3 a.m. to attend some talks in the UK. All right. So if not, I'll hand it back over to John.
Yep. Okay, so I've just launched a poll regarding today's session. Let us know what you think so we know where to improve. Okay, in the meantime, thank you, Jin, for your insights on the euro. Okay, in summary, I think we are still waiting for some moves. The setups are not really ready at the moment. Okay, but just stay tuned, as Jin mentioned, for the new not sudden, but the new news that appeared. Okay, we are looking for some signs on whether there's any change of decision by the European Central Bank. Okay, and yeah, don't forget to respond to the poll in the Traders Club Facebook if you'd like to see a live session happening for NFP. Okay, Jean has been conducting NFP sessions for the longest time, and I think most of the students love it a lot. Okay, because it really gives a detailed breakdown on how we can approach such kind of news that usually has high volatility in the market. So if you'd like to benefit, I've not seen Jean trade NFP before. Okay, I think that session will be highly beneficial. Please go and remember to cast your votes. Okay, yeah, so let me just take a look at the chat if there's any Other questions? Yep, I think the sentiment seems like everybody is excited for NFP trading. All you have to do is remember to cast your vote. Yeah. And don't forget, tomorrow night, 8:30, for those beginners or those who would like to refresh on their memory. Okay, Daniel and I will be going through how do we place our support resistance line. So don't forget to attend that session as well. Okay. Can we have more feedback, please? I think there's still about 8 of you who have not voted. And for those who key in the option of more analysis and coaching or longer session, we would also appreciate if you could share in the chat what kind of details or specifics you would like us to extend on. Because today I think it seems like more people want a longer session, so it will help us greatly if you can tell us what you expect to see.
Oops, what happened to my thing? Yeah, so I see a lot of you saying yes, you're keen on NFPs, keen on NFP. Could you, instead of putting it in here because we're not taking names here, jump onto the Traders Club and then vote for it when the poll comes up?
Yep, so with that, okay, stay tuned. I think Daniel has already created the poll in the Facebook group. Please head over there to vote. Once we have the numbers, we will the editorial will be out for the session. So yep, look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at 11, tomorrow night at 8:30, and of course every day at 11 a.m.
Okay.
Anyone have anything to add? If not, I think we can end off.
All right. So I'm still answering a few questions. So a few people have messaged me in the. I'll just